Now let's get into one of the core topics of Linux administration, and that's package management. This is how we install, update, and remove software on a Linux system. And if you've used a app store on your phone, it's a similar concept, just way more powerful under the hood. Now, let me break this down. Different Linux distributions use different package managers. Debian-based systems like Ubuntu use apt. Red Hat-based systems like Red Hat or CentOS use DNF or the older Yum package manager. Then you got Zipper on SUSE and also Pacman on Arch. And then we also have Snap or Flatpaks for universal packages. And in this video, I wanted to focus mostly on apt and DNF, since those are the most commonly used in enterprise and also on the cert exam. Now, I'm still connected to that Ubuntu server, and to install a package using apt, you just simply run sudo apt install and then the package name. So it could be anything from like htop. So I'll go down and run it right fast so you guys can see that this will go through and find that package and install it. But as you can see, htop is already installed on that Ubuntu server. And I know this is hard to read, but you have to go through and look at what's being said. Like for instance, htop is already at the newest version. Htop set to manually install. So that only happened because htop is already on the system. Now with DNF, it's pretty much the same thing. And what I'm gonna do is open up another terminal, and we're gonna make this one huge as well so you guys can see it. And so as you notice, desktop environment, this is Rocky Linux. So it uses DNF because it's rail based, or you can also use Yum, but it's the same concept. All you have to do is use the different package manager. So sudo DNF and then install, and let's do htop as well over here. Type in our sudo password, press enter, and it'll go through and check. And as you can see, it's already installed, and you see how they work a little bit differently as far as the output that's sent out, because these packages are built totally different. So DNF and then apt on Ubuntu. And just to break it down a little further, both commands, what they do is they check online software repositories and download the package. And it also grabs its dependencies and install everything cleanly. Now let's talk about updating and upgrading. To keep your system up to date, it's a different command to actually do that. For Ubuntu-based systems or Debian-based systems, you need to run updates. And this is something you need to do before installing any new software. You need to refresh the package list. And so let me show you guys that being ran. So let's run sudo apt updates and press enter. And it'll go through, like I said, and refresh that package list. And also if there are any updates for the system within those repositories, it'll let you know. And then it'll advise you, you can upgrade them. As you can see, that's what happened here. It says 8 packages can be upgraded. Now, it doesn't update anything. It just basically compares the deltas between the repository and what you have on your system based on what's installed. So if htop that you have installed locally is a different version from the one that's in the repository, or the most up-to-date version in the repository, then it'll mark it as it needs to be upgraded. And in order to upgrade, all you have to do is type sudo apt upgrade and press enter, and this will check those packages and upgrade them on your system. And you have to type yes. Do you want to continue? Because it'll let you know how much space it's going to take up. Once that's installed, it tells you what's all going to be installed. So 7 upgrades, 7 newly installed, 0 to be removed, and 1 not upgraded. So there is 1 that's not going to be upgraded. So out of those total of 8 packages. So just go on, press enter, boom, and it'll go through and run those updates on those packages that have updates. And so it'll give you results. It'll go through, install, and then give you results, basically saying that those packages have been upgraded. You can check through and read through this, but it gives you all the output as it's going through the process of updating those packages. Now, one thing on Red Hat based systems, it combines both of those commands together, the updates and the upgrade, and it puts it all into one command. What it'll do is it'll refresh and then upgrade. And let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So all you have to do is type sudo DNF and then updates. If you run update, this will update and upgrade those packages on your system. So let's go on, press enter, type in our sudo password, and this will check if there are updates and then present them to you. And you type Y for yes, because it's going to let you know how much more space it's going to take up on your system. Just apt and press enter, and it'll upgrade that package for you. And if you look at DNF, it's a little bit more cleaner than Ubuntu. I like the way it looks. You can easily see what's going on a little bit better. This is the packages that are being upgraded upgrade. And as you can see, it gives you the architecture, the version, repository, and the size. And it organizes it a whole lot better. And then you can see the full transaction right here, which you can see all that information over here. It's just a little bit more jumbled up when it comes to apt, the way it's released. And I wish they would update that, but that's what we got with apt. And there are some tools you can add to Ubuntu-based systems to clean it up a little better. But I recommend you run it the normal way, because when you're learning, you want to see how it'll look, especially if you go to an organization. They're not going to have those third-party tools installed on there. It's just going to be a base system without extra third-party tools, most likely. Now, just to reinforce this, keeping your system updated is key for security and stability. This is a big deal in production environments. Now, let's say you need to uninstall something. With apt, basically, it's apt remove and then the package name. So let's run that for htop. So sudo remove htop. Let's go down and remove it from the system and put Y for yes. And this will go through the process of removing that package from your system, so you won't be able to use it anymore. Now, if you want to remove the package and its configuration files, there is a purge command that you can run. And what it's going to do is error out right now because we already removed it. But let's say it has some configuration files and all that good stuff under etc directory, which I showed you guys. That's where all our configuration files are stored. Then that purge command will go down and remove those as well and keep the system clean. Now, just show you guys how to remove packages on a Rail-based system. All you have to do is type sudo dnf and then remove and then the package name. So let's remove htop again from the system, and you can go through and see what it's removing. That's why I say I like the way DNF actually shows the information that it's going to do. So let's type Y for yes. And now the package has been removed as well as its dependency. Now I want you guys to be very careful when removing packages, because if you remove a critical package, you can mess up the system. And always double check before hitting enter when you're removing packages. When you install a package, you're often installing other packages it relies on. And that's what I mean by dependencies. I keep saying dependencies, but I haven't really explained it. There are packages that need it to run a different piece of software. For instance, this HW lock is a dependency of htop. So in order for it to run properly, it needs this package as well in order to run the program properly. Package managers handle this automatically, but when removing software, it will leave behind unused dependencies in most cases. A couple other commands I can show you guys. I showed you the purge that'll remove configuration files, but there's also the auto remove. So we type sudo apt auto remove. This will go through and look for dependencies that are not needed on the system anymore or no longer needed. Like for instance, the following package was automatically installed and is no longer required. That's one of those packages. And it tells you right here with the app package manager that you can run this command to remove it. And so that's just an unused package. It's not dependent on anything, or no other application is dependent on it. So you can type sudo apt auto remove, and that will remove that actual package and save the space on your system. And that's one of the reasons you want to run it, to get rid of packages that are not needed, that may be taking up space. Because once you install something, it's cached on the system. That way you can easily roll back to an older version of that package if need be. Let's say it breaks something. And so with that being said, this will free up space on the system. And the same thing with Rails systems. It's the exact same command. Just use dnf and then auto remove, and this will remove dependencies that are not needed. And let me go down and type it in properly. But auto remove, press enter to go through and check and see if there are any dependencies and remove them from your system. Now, repositories are servers that hold collections of packages, and your system connects to those to install and update software. And you can check or edit your repository list by going into a couple configuration files, and I'll show the differences to you based on the operating system. Like for instance, Ubuntu has a sources list, and this is stored under etc. So if we run sudo cat and then under etc, there is a apt location for the app package manager. And then let me hit tab twice so you guys can see what's in here. But you have your configuration files, authentication files, preferences, sources, and this is what we're looking for, our sources list. And you also have a couple of the folders in here like that handle GPG keys, your key ring, and all that stuff. So let's cat out this sources list right fast so you guys can see the repositories. And yeah, I forgot that you want to move the sources list under sources list D. So let's go into there right fast and show you guys what I'm talking about. That D, and then let me tab it out so we can see. Yeah, Ubuntu sources. Boom. And so this is what your sources list looks like for Ubuntu. It's basically in a particular format. So the type is deb, which is a deb package or Debian package. The URL to the server where they host all those packages, and then the suites, components, and then the key ring that lets you know you're getting it from the proper source. And same thing down here, they have it separated as far as security updates. So it's a different repository, but it checks both of those repositories for packages on your system that are out of date, and then update them when you run the upgrade command. Now, let me show you guys on Rocky right fast, or Railbase, and let me highlight that so it doesn't become distracting. And let's run sudo cat, and then under etc, and there is a yum directory and that repo, and I had to tab it out so I can remember exactly what it's called. And let's tab that out as well so we can see what's in there. And you'll see the EPEL repo, you got your Rocky add-ons repo, you got the Devil repo, your extra repo, and then Rocky repo right there. But I'll just check out the EPEL repo. So let's go enterprise and press enter, and let's check out what's in there right fast. And as you can see, it's in the same type of format. It's a little bit different, obviously, but it's in a similar format. You got your link to the actual repository that stores all the packages, and it's all breaking out with the GPG key and all that good stuff. And I just mainly wanted to show you guys that. So let's go down and clear, and we can go over here and clear as well. Now, let me show you guys how to search and verify packages. You can use apt search in order to search for packages. And let's look at that same package of htop. So this is how you run it right fast. So if you know what the name of the package is, you can search for it, and this will go through and find that package for you. Now, it is a little broad. It'll pull in a whole bunch of packages that are similar. So sometimes you have to look through it and see what's all there. And with htop, there are other packages that do the same thing or accomplish the same thing that was created by other people using different programming languages and all that stuff. So like, for instance, this is bashtop. This is bpytop. So that uses Python, btop, and then htop. And all those tools pretty much do the exact same thing. They just show things a little bit differently within the command line. Now, let me show you guys how to search within DNF. And it's the exact same thing. All you have to do is type DNF search. And you don't have to type sudo to search for packages, just so you guys know. And just search whatever package you want to look for. And we're going to look for htop. And what it's going to do is search and see if it can find that package on our system. And one thing about the search on DNF, it'll look for that exact package. You'll find just that exactly matched package for htop. It won't show all the other ones. If they are there in a repository, it'll search for the exact match. And so let's go down and install htop again, but let's type sudo apt install, and let's run htop again over here on Ubuntu, get that installed. And then let's also do the exact same thing over here. So DNF and then install htop and get that set up on our system as well. And the reason I want to go down and get it installed, because I want to show you guys another command that'll show you information about a package. So let's run apt show and then htop, and this will give you more details on the actual package. You can check that out. I didn't have to install it, but I was going to show you guys another command after that, but you can look at all the details of that package. Htop, the maintainers, the origin, any bugs that are out there. You can see all the details about a particular package. Just type it in. And the same thing can be done over here on Railbase. And all you have to do is type DNF info and then the package name. It's a little bit different. So let's press enter, and it'll give you the information about that package right there. And you can see things like the name, the version, the release, the architecture, pretty much all that good stuff. Now, let's say you want to verify an install. Let's say someone else installed a package and you want to just verify it or whatever. You can dpackage-l and Ubuntu based systems, and dpackage is basically dpkg and then -l, and press enter, and it'll give you all the packages that are installed on the system, and this will allow you to verify what's installed on the system. And I didn't put a package name in there, so that's why it's showing everything. And you can type in htop and that'll show just that package that you're looking for. Just wanted you to be able to see that you can look at everything on the system versus just pulling up a single package by running that specific package next to it. Now, there's another command over on Rocky-based systems. You can run rpm-qa, and you can type the package in there, press enter. Now go through and find that package for you and give you the version and all that stuff that's on there. And you can run the same thing and it'll show you every package on the system the exact same way on Ubuntu-based system or Debian-based systems. So it's all depending on the distro that you're using and the package manager that you're using. Now, let me clear right fast because I want to show you guys some built-in utilities that help you out as far as finding out the version of a package. You can type which and then htop, press enter, and it'll tell you the location of the package, the binary file. As you can see, it's on the user bin, htop. Same thing over here. You can run the which command, both sides, and this will give you the information about that application. And I misspoke when I said version. It just basically shows you where the binary is and where this package is located on your system once it's installed. But in order to get the version, most packages, you can type htop and then -version and press enter, and that'll give you the version name. And I forgot for this, you have to put -- in order to type the full word out. And so let's put that in there right fast. So it's --version. There we go. So htop --version, that'll pull it up. Same thing over here. You can run htop --version, should be the same. And yeah, there we go. So you have that version of htop installed on the system. Now go ahead and install a couple packages on your system. Practice, you can install nano or reinstall nano. By default it's on Ubuntu, but reinstall nano, and also try removing some of these packages, but just make sure you know what you're removing. Don't remove anything you're unfamiliar with the package name and what it actually does for the system. And then also run those update commands or upgrade commands, the auto remove commands, and get familiar with it, because that's one thing you'll be doing in a job, and that's system maintenance. That falls all under system maintenance. I recommend you search for packages as well, like packages you haven't used before, like Nginx or Apache or something to that effect. And you can also check for the information behind the package, like what version, the maintainer information, and all that good stuff. Like I stated in the beginning, package management is one of those must-have skills for any Linux administrator. And it's how you keep your system clean, secure, and functioning properly. In the next video, we'll take what you've learned and use it to automate tasks and build shell scripts so you can get a little bit of automation under your belt. So let's get to it.